Hey, welcome to Poco Outdoors Guy. Today we're meeting up with a very good friend of mine who's going to tell us about a recent bear hunt of his, a spring bear hunt. Stay with us. Poco Outdoors Guy is supported by Deeper Smart Sonar, Revolution Trolling Spoons, and Fat Cal Fishing Products. So today we're meeting up with my real good friend Paul at Chadwick. Now Paul and I have known each other for a lot of years, and I know Paul is a great hunter. He travels all over the country going after big game. As a matter of fact, he's the big game field staffer for Poco Outdoors Guy here. Paul, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Us.
Thank you.
So you were on a spring bear hunt. I know a lot of the folks are saying, spring bear hunt, where's he hunting at?
Right.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Right. Spring bear hunt is in Maine. Now Maine itself does not have a spring bear hunt. So what we're hunting on is the Penobscot Nation land with the Penobscot tribe. So it's their land that we're hunting on. You work through an outfitter, a guide service. They would be supplying the permits that they've gotten through the tribe. And as part of this, for the tribe, a guide from the Penobscot Nation is overseeing this operation. And it's interesting, our guide is Ron Bear. Yes, his name is really Bear. His name is
That's
really
fitting,
Bear.
isn't it?
Yeah, he's a great guy, and it's worked out very well.
That place you're staying, I think you've told me they just have fantastic accommodations up there.
Yeah, for bear hunting particularly, it's just phenomenal. The cabins are great. They're fully furnished, indoor plumbing, and trust me, as you get older, indoor plumbing is nice to have. So meals are fantastic. It's a very good situation. It's a very clean, it's a family-run operation at Madigan, and it really works out well. It really does.
That sounds like a really great place to go. Paul, one of the things I really like is when you guys got up there, you went right ahead and sighted your rifles back in just to make sure after that long trip that nothing changed. Yeah,
that's right, George. It's a good thing to do, of course, for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, the accuracy. But it also gives the guides who are there an opportunity to see how the hunters handle firearms, the safety aspects, and make sure people know what they're doing. The shooting is close ranged. Remember, this is going to be a baited hunt. So the range is 25 yards. Some are as far as 50 yards, but most are around 25 yards. And they also have good setups for archers that come in, so that's something to do. So again, the range of shooting is pretty close. I think what's also important to remember with bear hunting in particular, a lot of people are very familiar with deer, but bear are much heavier in bone and in muscles, particularly large bears. Bears at Madigan, they've gotten, for example, in excess of 550 pounds. So the average deer rifle with the average deer bullet may not really be adequate. So I really suggest you use as large a caliber as you can, 270 being a minimum, and that you use heavy for caliber bullets. And what I mean by that is for a 270, 150 grain bullet. For 30 caliber, for example, I'd be looking at 180 as the minimum. 220 isn't bad. Right. 7mm, 175 grain bullets, that sort of thing, where the sectional density is high enough that it will really add to the penetration. Yeah, you want to get that thing down fast. You do, but again, in Pennsylvania, for example, one of the last seasons that we've had here, there was 3,529 bears taken. Of those, 60 were 500 pounds or more, 17 were 600 pounds or more, and 3 were over 700 pounds. That's some big bear. That is big bear. Now picture there you are, you don't have the best of angle, and you're trying to drive a bullet into the vitals of that bear with heavy muscle, heavy bone, and a lot of fat left over from that hibernation. Bears don't really come out totally emaciated as some people think. Sure. There still is a good bit of fat on them, and you've got to penetrate all of that to get to those vitals. So I really suggest you use the heaviest bullet you can for the caliber. It's worth doing it right if you're going to do it, basically. Absolutely, absolutely. Now, up in Maine, you're allowed to bait bear, unlike Pennsylvania here, so tell us a little bit how they go about doing that. Yeah, the baiting, the various sites that they have are set up. They use various baits A lot of this right now is stale donuts, things of that nature. And so, again, on a daily basis, the baits are refreshed. There's trail cameras set up so they can see the activity that's going on the bait. So when you go, it isn't something that's cold, meaning that you have an idea even the type of bear that's coming into those baits. And that's worked out obviously very, very well to see what's going on and what the timing is when the bears are coming in. It's very frustrating to see all these great bears coming in at midnight, 2 in the morning, but hey.
You can't hunt then.
Yeah, you can't hunt, and that's why it's hunting. But Matagamon, for example, offers really 3 types of bear hunting. One, as you just mentioned, is the bait, which this primary is what we're talking about here in the springtime. There's also trapping, and by trapping here we're talking about snares, foot snares, so that you can do. In fact, you can actually get 2 bears. You can get one snared, trapped, and one with rifle. And the third thing is in the falls, running with hounds. Hound hunting. So all 3 types of bear hunting is available in
Well, that's
Maine.
really interesting. They got quite a variety. Now, how did they get started bear hunting in Maine? I think that was wasn't looked down upon at one time.
Well, the situation really was that the Penobscot Nation, it was a little bit controversial whether they were going to start this program, and but it has turned out to be very successful. The main thing is it's keeping the bear population in check. It stopped the predation of deer fawns and moose calves. So it was a very good decision on the part of the Penobscot Nation, and it has worked out very, very well.
Nice, nice. Now there's a whole lot of other things to do in between bear hunting up at Madigan. I think they got a pretty good fishery up there too, right?
Yeah, if you're a fisherman, even a modest fisherman, bring your gear, bring your gear. Grand Lake Madigan is huge. There's boats available for your use. They have a very nice pontoon boat they'll take you out on. And right by the lodge, right by the cabins, is the east branch of the Penobscot River. So fly fishing is really popular in the spring. So, you know, the fishermen will be down in the river with their waders and their fly rods casting, and there's a variety of fish, landlocked salmon, certainly trout, that's available. So it makes a very, very nice hunting vacation, you might want to say. Fish in the morning.
Perfect for any outdoors.
Absolutely. Really. Fish in the morning, hunt in the afternoon, and if you're a fisherman, you know, hunt all the time. And they will certainly help you. They will guide you if you so choose. You can get a program like that together too. If you're really more into fishing than someone like myself, who's a Sunday fisherman only.
That's great. You're a hell of a hunter, though. Let's put it in perspective. Now, Paul had a chance to talk with Joe Christensen up at the lodge. Let's go take a look.
Hi, I'm Paul again. I'm here with the owner of Madigan Wilderness, Joe Christensen. And it is a family-run business, right, Joe? You have all your family members working with your children?
Yep. All of us and the spouses work with us, and the grandkids here and everything.
That's great. Yeah, it is a real homey, family-run business here at Madigan. We're predominantly bear hunters, and we come up for the bear hunting. And if I understand right, you really have 4 methods of bear hunting. You have the spring bear hunt in cooperation with the Penobscot Nation. You have fall general bear hunting through the state of Maine. You have hound hunting, which is an opportunity. And 4th, you have trapping. Trapping really being lakes, snares for the animals.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think it's really an opportunity to have a variety of ways to hunt bears particularly. And fishing also is something that's really big. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that and the species that are available here, both in the East Branch of the Penobscot and Grand Lake Madigan?
Yep. Well, like on the East Branch of Penobscot here, we got some really good river fishing, and mostly that's all native brook trout, and there's landlocked salmon in there as well. Depending on the time of year, there's more brook trout than salmon, but this time of year there's a good variety of both. Up in the lake we have brook trout fishing, landlocked salmon, and they have toad or lake trout that's in there. And And it's very good fishing, because sometimes it's better, you know, depending on the time of year and stuff, you know, but real good fishing. And any of the bear hunters that come up, I have boats available on the lake, but you guys are welcome to use them when you guys are here. But if somebody wants to come just for fishing, you know, I do rent boats there, so that you can come up and then rent a boat, and you don't have to bring a boat with you.
And a new addition that I saw for the first time this year is you also have a pontoon boat that you can take the fishermen out, and for campers and families to be able to take them out on the lake. A very stable boat, a very good boat to be able to do fishing with.
Yeah, that's correct. We just added that this year.
Yeah.
We do a lot of guiding for fishing, as well as, you know, as well as the moose and the deer and the bear and all that. But we got that pontoon boat just for that purpose, to give tours on the lake, as well as for guided fishing and stuff on the lake.
And as far as the fishermen are concerned, so it's a good place for a combination, bear hunting and fishing. So fishing in the morning, and bear hunting usually is in the afternoon. In the springtime, having lunch at 1 o'clock, leaving for a bear stand between 2:30 and 3 o'clock until legal hours, quitting time going on.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
A little bit later, a little earlier in the fall because of the sun situation.
Right, yeah, early in the fall, because right now, during our bear season, you know, you're approaching the longest day of the year, you know, so.
Yeah, so that can vary a little. So I think it's a great opportunity for sportsmen in general who want to come and have a bear hunt in the spring or the fall and combine it with great fishing. Fly fishing in the river is great. We see a lot of guys out there with their waders, so it's a great opportunity to be able to do that. You can bring your own boat. There's a dock available for you at the lake, so you can launch your own boat if you want to do that as far as fishing is concerned. I've been at a number of camps in Maine. I have to say that we keep coming back to Matagamon because it is really a premier type of establishment, family owned, family run, and you get 110% all the time. And the meals are phenomenal. Sue, Joe's wife, does a great job with the girls in the kitchen, and you won't go hungry. And when I say a meal, last night we had steak individually cooked for you. Sunday night we start off with lobster dinner, roast pork, ham, chicken. It's not skimpy, and everybody just has a great time at the table. So hopefully you consider a hunt in Maine and consider Madigan Wilderness as your outfitter guide of choice.
Now, Paul, how about any other advice for people that like to go up and do some bear hunting?
Yeah, it's one of the things I would strongly recommend is the scope that you have on your rifle. Now, archers, your archery equipment, a lot of people go up with even flintlock rifles, open sight. But if you have a scope on your rifle, remember the distances are going to be very, very close. But more important, you've got a black bear in dark shadows just at beginning of night, just at dusk, at the end of legal hours. And so the type of reticles that you have are really important. Now, my hunting partner, Mert, and myself, we use heavy duplex crosshairs. The extra thickness isn't great for precision shooting at 200 yards because it covers too much of the target. But for this close range work, it's really important. And any type of illuminated reticles, such as scopes from Trijicon or people like that, would be really good. The second thing is you as the hunter. In most cases, you're in a tree stand. There are ground blinds available. And by the way, I should mention for people who have a little difficulty getting around, there's some blinds that are specifically set up for people who can't walk very far, can't walk very good. So they will, yes, they will.
So anybody can get out
absolutely,
there and
do this. Absolutely. It's great for that. So scent control is important. The idea of being quiet is very important, and the idea of no motion. It's quite common, though you may not be aware it's happening, is the bear will circle the bait and circle you. They're really trying to check this out before they come in. So you don't need to have motion, you don't need to have sound. You really need to sit still to be able to do it. Some people would probably think like, you know, this is like shooting fish in a barrel. You're just up in a stand, a bear walks out and bam. Well, it isn't that way, because the people who don't have the discipline to be able to maintain their posture and not be moving really are at a disadvantage. So keep that in mind.
Okay, now Mert got the first bear on this trip, didn't he? Why don't you tell us a little bit about that one?
Oh yeah, this was great. Mert got into his stand. It wasn't there very long, and a bear came in. And one of the things he does, which is good, is he allowed the bear to settle down. There's two philosophies in this. One is to take the first shot, clear shot at a bear, preferably with the bear standing still. The second is let the bear come in, get some bait. By the way, he might walk off, and when he walks off, you go like, "Oh my gosh!" No,
Missed it, right?
he'll come back. He's just getting comfortable. He knows what's going on, and as the bear gets more comfortable, often they'll sit down, whatever, right at the bait. So Mert was up in his tree, and he's watching this bear for a while, and fortunately, it offered him a very good angle shot, and he shot. And there it was.
Nice, nice. Well, let's go take a look at that bear.
Well, good evening. It's about 8:30. First night of bear season at Matagamon. Great night. Beautiful night. No rain. A little windy to begin with, and it laid right down. About 8:15, bear came walking in. Tipped the barrel over. Wasn't going to take it at first. And then it kept wandering around, and it had a really nice coat on it, really nice coat. And then I made the decision and took the bear. Really great night.
Well, that was a great bear that Mert got. You know, just a beautiful coat on that thing. So it's good to have such a trophy, you know, so early in the trip. Now, Paul, you didn't get your bear until very late. As a matter of fact, you were about ready to give up. You were filming an outro, basically, and decided to give one more shot, and you scored.
Yeah, again, the perseverance and the not waiting to the very last minute, not giving up is really critical in this type of hunting. So in my situation, I was in a tree stand. Evening was coming on. There was about 10 minutes left to legal hunting hours. and I'm in a position to shoot. One of the things that I do, particularly in the last half hour, is I'm on the shooting rail, I have the gun to my shoulder, I don't want to move, I don't want to make a sound. So I'm sitting there really prepared, but my mind is saying, not this year, it's just not going to happen. Well, by the bait, off of the left, comes a very nice bear. Line up the sights again with the heavy duplex crosshairs, really helped because it's now very dark, a black bear and black shadows, and I fired. I was using a 375 Holland & Holland Magnum in a double rifle for this particular hunt, and the bear ran a very, very short distance and went down.
Nice.
And
really
he was
nice.
a very nice bear.
That's great. Now, one of the things there at Matagamon too is they'll actually help you get it out and butcher it too, right there on site as well.
Yeah, that's really a marvelous feature of what they do there. Yes, more than enough hands. They're as excited as you are. Haul the bear out for you, take it back. We weigh it, so we get a live weight, and then the bear is, the entrails are removed, the body cavity is packed with ice, and remember, this is now often 10, can even be later at night.
Mm-hmm.
So in the next morning after breakfast, we go down, pictures, whatever, and then the bear is skinned out. And then the bear is cut up for you. And when I say cut up, it's not like quartered. I mean, the steaks are cut, the roast are cut, the meat is done, it's all deboned, it's ready for you, it's put in plastic bags, and you know, you're working with them with this, but this is done for you, so you bring home all that bear meat. And I have to say, even my wife, Chris, likes the bear meat even more so than the deer meat.
Really?
Bear is really, really good.
Nice.
And you get a reasonable size bear, you've got a reasonable amount of meat to come home. But yeah, they really do a nice job.
Well, that makes it so much more enjoyable as an outdoorsman. You know, you're not stuck trying to lug a bear out by yourself and butcher it yourself. They really do provide a great service out there.
Absolutely. It is a great hunt. If I may say, I'm getting up in years. For people who are getting a little older and still enjoy hunting, they absolutely bend over backwards to take care of you and to help you in any way they can. And just as you pointed out, George, yes, a lot of the heavy lifting, there's people who will take care of that for you.
Well, that's really great. Well, it's a shame we didn't get your actual kill shot on film. I know that was kind of unexpected the last 10 minutes of the day, but we did get some footage of it, so that's good we can share with the folks. Well, Paul, that sounded like a fantastic hunt. I think I'm going to have to join you one of these years up there and see if we can go make a good week out of that. But really appreciate you coming on, and what an adventure. I know you're a hell of a hunter, and that's got to be a great time up in the woods, and I look forward maybe someday getting up there with you.
That would be fantastic, and certainly recommend to anyone to consider that hunt. And what's really nice is it really, for a hunter, you come out of winter, you're a little itchy, and a spring hunt is really exciting. It adds that much more flavor to the whole hunting year.
I agree, and it's not something you can do locally here, so it's good to get away and enjoy something fresh for the new year.
Very much.
Great. Well, thanks again, Paul. It was great having you on here, and we're going to put the address down below here in the description, and also have a slide at the end of this video for you guys. If you want to contact Madigan Wilderness yourself, we'll give you information for that. Until next time, this is George on Poking Outdoors Guy. See you soon.